The following is a presentation of Muddy River Sports.
Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? Bow to the masters.
Let's break it down. This is the Muddy River Breakdown with Shuck Daddy and D.O.B. I'm Muddy River Sports editor Matt Shuckman, hanging out with my sidekick, Dandy Don O'Brien. What's up, buddy?
So as we tape this, it's like 117 degrees out.
Oh, we're sitting here on Tuesday afternoon here at the Muddy Buddy Studios taping our podcast, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what do I need to get done today? And I know Quincy University Baseball is having one of its fall games, and they said, hey, come out sometime if you got time. I have a little time this afternoon. I will melt if I go out there today. I don't think for fall ball it's worth it.
No.
Sorry, Matt Shizzle, but
I think after today, later in the week, when it comes to football Friday night, we're going to be good. It's going to be a nice cold football Friday night.
I think football Friday night's going to be dandy from the sounds of it.
So I'm starting off today's show with a question for you.
Oh, okay.
So Sunday I went to go golf. I went down to St. Louis. I golfed at Innsbruck.
Right.
Golf a very nice course.
A BBB outing.
BBB. Me and three buddies of mine that work at the BBB office in St. Louis. We get together every year and we have a BBB Cup match. Okay. And of course my team won again this year. Not because I did anything, but my cohort Craig was very good and he carried us around the course. So anyway, my phone loses all its juice. I mean, I'm dead on the way home. Because I listen to my satellite radio on the way down. Okay. And I have to do it through my phone. It's not on my BBB mobile. I don't have that button.
Gotcha.
So I had zero juice.
Okay.
So I'm stuck to listen to the radio.
Okay.
Do you still listen to the radio?
Yes.
How many people do you think still listen to the? And then again, this is not bash. I'm not trying to bash on radio.
Right.
But how many people do you think still listen to the radio?
I think there's quite a few because I don't know how many people actually have satellite radio in their vehicles. I don't listen.
So
I don't listen to
podcasts. You can listen to Spotify. You can listen
but
to
you
all
have
that
to
stuff.
you have to remember how many people out there technologically can set that up in their car.
Well, my kids can. My kids,
Your kids can.
So you think old folks like
us. My dad drives around all the time.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do any of that.
No, my brother drives around all the time.
He ain't doing any of that.
Exactly. So you got to remember the percentage of people who still listen to the radio is, I think, relatively. Wouldn't say high, but it's significant. I mean, it's not like, you're getting in your car and you put on Sirius, or XM or satellite radio. I don't have it hooked up in my truck.
You don't? No.
So I would have to listen to it on my phone.
Yeah. Well, what I do is I play it through my phone to the to the speakers.
Okay. Why do that? Turn on the radio.
So I think I love listening to local radio. I think it's great that we still have, Quincy is an anomaly when it comes to radio.
True.
In the fact that, when I lived in the Metro East for 4 or 5 years, there weren't games on Friday night. You couldn't find high school football games by and large in that area on a Friday night. The fact that we have 2 stations in town here that will do games is phenomenal. You have Cress over in Moberly that still does games.
Yes.
You have WBBA in Pittsfield does games. I think WCAZ does games. So
I don't know. WBBA doesn't do games.
They don't do any games anymore?
No, because Central Illinois Sports does it all on YouTube.
Okay.
But Kick FM does Hannibal.
Yep.
Y101 does Palmyra.
Yep. Those guys still do. Yeah, you're right.
The Lake KWBZ out of Monroe City does Monroe City. Mm-hmm. The 2 Dubs show and the whole bit with Monroe City football.
So that's great. I mean, but that's not, people that live around here think that's normal. It's really not normal anymore.
Probably not. Not in, depends on where you go. Like if you go down to St. Louis, no, it's not normal.
Yes.
I think in some of your rural areas, I know, the Eagle does, the Eagle out of Louisiana.
They do Louisiana games?
They do Clopton, Ellsbury, Bowling Green. They do a bunch of games down in that area.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's that uncommon.
Well, at least in population centers, I think it is. So,
but it's always been uncommon there.
Yeah, true.
Like I don't remember ever going to St. Louis very often and hearing games on the radio.
Yeah, you
get it if you pick up a station as you're driving. You'll get one out in the county or something like that.
Sure.
But the St. Louis area, no. I've never, even covering games down there over the years, whether it's football or basketball. Rarely ever was there a home radio station.
So eventually, I got back into the Quincy area. I got back in the Quincy area, and because I couldn't get to St. Louis, couldn't pick up the St. Louis stations anymore.
Okay.
And it's a Sunday afternoon, and no one had a football game on anywhere. Now, eventually, 9th TED later in the night they picked up like Fox Sports or something in their show, but
that doesn't surprise me either, because local radio you're used to listening to baseball on the radio.
And that you had Cardinals and Cubs on that day.
And so why would you have football on if you have Cardinals and Cubs? Because if your advertisers and your listeners are more apt to listen to those than they would be football on a Sunday.
Well, I'm just saying that somebody need to have some football on for me, because the Cardinal game that day stunk, and I ain't spending any time with the Cubs.
So you're just bitter because it didn't cater to you.
Correct. And I ran out of juice, or else I would listen to the Sunday Drive on Sirius XM. So I didn't have any of that. So I just think.
So what did you listen to then?
I listened to I hit search.
Yeah.
And I wound up listening to some crackpot for a while about, he was just giving conspiracy theories. So I was like, how long is this guy going to go? I couldn't even tell you his name.
So you're not a music guy when you're listening to the radio?
Well, sometimes I do. Like the old Y101 now does classic stuff. I'll probably listen. I would listen to that probably. The new. I couldn't tell you a new song. I couldn't tell you. There's obviously no R&B station around here.
So you don't
have 100.3 to beat in Quincy.
You're losing out on your rap fix.
All that.
For those of you who don't know, D.O.B. is a rap aficionado.
Old school. I don't like this new stuff that's all auto-tuned and it's all garbage. So anyway, that's my rant on radio. So you think that I'm just being a fuddy-duddy then?
Yes.
All right, I'll buy it.
I'll
wear it.
I jump in the truck and turn on the radio every day.
Yes. What's Chuck's radio preference?
KZZK, hard rock.
Hard rock.
So.
Okay.
And I know it was funny. There was one day that I swore like a little like strobe went off or a beacon went off and said, okay, Chuck's in his truck, play these songs, because they went back to back to back. Van Halen, Shine Down, Metallica. I'm like, hey, this is my day.
So there you have it. I listen to a lot of talk radio. I don't know why.
I don't listen to much talk radio.
Although I'm to the point now with ESPN, I mean, their TV product and certainly their radio product, I just can't do it. I mean, I'll do I can't do any of their sports centers. It's easy. Okay, so I've been aged out of the WWE. The WWE and pro wrestling for me now, although AEW is pretty good. I'm still, I think, in their demographic.
Okay.
But WWE, all they care about are for like kids 12 and under.
Okay.
They don't care about the person who's been watching it since they were 12. That's all they care about is little kids now. And now I think I'm out of the ESPN demographic as well. I don't think middle-aged white guy they don't care about.
I hate to say it, but I don't watch much ESPN at all.
I don't watch any of their yappers. Their talk.
No,
yappers
I don't
on
watch
TV.
any of that.
Although I love Stephen A. You know that.
Yeah, I know you do, and I can't stand him.
I don't watch any of those programs.
No.
I can't watch ESPN Sports Centers outside of Van Pelt's. It's just a bunch of drivel. So I will only watch ESPN now for
what
games.
I find interesting when I do turn on Sports Center is what they choose to like lead with or spend most of their time on. It isn't really the news of the day. It's
whatever they have money invested in.
Exactly.
So again, I don't want this to come off like I don't like the WNBA, but I'm not really interested in that.
Right.
But they just the last couple weeks, because they're just in their finals and the Las Vegas Aces won it all. They spend a lot of time on that. Well, that doesn't interest me. Now, if they put English Premier League stuff on there, okay. I'm a niche, and I think the WNBA is a niche audience.
Yeah.
I don't think the general populace really cares.
No.
And again, I'm not trying to belittle what they do. It's a great product, and it appeals to a lot of people. I just can't get into it.
No, I used to be one of the guys who would get up in the morning and first thing I would do is flip on Sports Center.
Correct. You don't do that anymore, do you?
Well, you can't. Like if you could I'm sure you could find it if you go through all the channels.
Yes.
But if you flip on ESPN, it's all talk show stuff.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't mean I don't want to listen to those guys.
Okay, so when I become commissioner of the world, you cannot talk about any MVP race until half a season has been played. We are now 2 weeks into the NFL season and 3 weeks into college football.
Right.
And they're trying to tell us who the Heisman Trophy winner is going to be and who the NFL MVP is going to be. Will you stop already?
Well,
stop it.
Yeah, that's just ludicrous.
I mean, I know it's a short season, so 2 out of 17 there. What's an eighth of the way through the season?
So what?
But that's not close. I mean, you got to get to game. Really, you shouldn't probably talk about it before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean,
but they have 24 hours to fill, and they do all this.
Well, and what I find interesting is you know certain shows. I can't even think of the name of it. The Mike Greenberg show in the morning.
Greeny.
Yeah, so it is like all NFL.
Yes.
That's all they want to talk about. Like, there's so much else going on in the sports world, but you tune in, even in the off season, it's all about the NFL
every day. NFL every day.
Like, no, give me something else.
So you're also somewhat anti ESPN now. I just won't watch it. I mean, if I got a game on I want to watch, I'll watch it. Like last night I watched.
Yeah, I'll watch games, but I
was a fan of 2 Monday night games last night.
I was out covering stuff, so I didn't even see any of it.
So you were actually working, not me just sitting around after my hard shift at the in the land of the BBB.
No, I was actually out doing stuff. So
I clocked out from the BBB plant and
then
set my
you
butt
clocked
down.
out from the plant and then planted yourself on the couch.
Playing on myself on the couch. Yeah, I like that. I like the 2 Monday night games. I don't know if they do. They should do that a couple times every year, I think.
Yeah, why not?
So
I like that better than the Thursday night game. Ooh, Thursday night game because it was on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Mama Shuck was upset. My mom's a Chiefs fan. Has a Patrick Mahomes shirt and the whole bit.
Well, you don't have Amazon Prime at your house?
No, my mom and dad.
You could invite mom over and let her.
I was working Thursday night and
whatever. Michelle could sit there and watch
but no, they don't. I mean, I think
they don't stream it all. Yes.
No, they don't. They're in their 80s. Very upset at the fact that she couldn't get an NFL game on a Thursday night. The only NFL game on Thursday, and it's got to be on a streaming service. Come on, NFL.
That's the future, though, Shuck.
Yeah, but how many people missed out on that game? That's what would be my curious question.
I think they still play them in local markets, though. I still think that like one of the local, like Kansas City and San Diego, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They had those on local. So that way their home base wasn't up in arms.
But their home bases are pretty large. Like
correct.
in Kansas City's case, it's the only team in Missouri. So I mean, it'd be like us with the Bears.
Yes.
You know, Quincy is a big Bears town, even though the Bears aren't very good.
My kid is a Bears fan now.
Is he really?
The prodigy. He was all in on the Broncos. I mean, not like this area. He's really following the Bears. I'm like, why are you following the Bears? Because they're in state. I said, what about the Browns? You like that? He was ride or die at the Browns the last couple of years because they like Baker Mayfield. And he goes, oh, they hired a rapist as their quarterback. I'm not rooting for them anymore. So at least my kid has some morals that I don't.
That's your kid's not quite the heel you are.
No. So but I'm like, why did you pick the Bears? Because they're in state. I was like, well, kiddo, guess what? You got that week one. That may last you until about week 10 because I don't think they're winning more than a handful of games this year. They're bad.
Hey, by the way, how's your EPL team doing?
Huge win. Oh, Sonny was back. Huge win over Leicester City. I probably said that wrong. 6-2. We're on break this week. Huge month of October. We play like every weekend and like midweek every weekend.
Okay.
Every week. So it's a big win. Did you ever pick a team? Are you Arsenal?
We will have a big announcement next week. Tyler's
coming in.
Well, we're going to get him to see if he'll come in and help us with the announcement. A team has been chosen.
Well, I just want you to let you know that on October 1st, our next fixture.
Yes.
They're not games, they're fixtures.
They're fixtures, yes.
On our next fixture for Tottenham's Hotspur, we play Arsenal in one of the North London derbies.
Well, I'll give you a little insight.
Yes.
That game will not interest me.
Ooh, I pegged you for an Arsenal guy.
I put
because you love E. Stanley Kroenke.
I put my trust into Tyler Tomlinson. I gave him free reign to do his research, talk to people, and pick me a team. Okay. And I told him I would abide by that. I will proudly wear the badge of that team.
I don't have a badge yet. They have scarves. I don't know why do they have scarves in soccer. Have we figured this out yet?
No, I got a lot to learn about the EPL. But I'm now going to have a team, so I have to start doing my research on that team.
Yes.
And we will have the
Do you have the Peacock Network?
No, but I will get it.
You got to have it. See,
the only streaming we have, I have Paramount.
Okay.
And I have Hulu.
Paramount, Champions League games are on Paramount Plus.
But Paramount Plus, The reason I got Paramount Plus is for one of my favorite shows is now streamed on Paramount, and SEAL Team.
Okay.
So
What about, okay, so you got your mother who is an
yes.
octogenarian, right?
yeah,
84.
Mom's 84.
Okay.
She'll be 85 in October.
Does she watch soap operas?
No, because she takes her nap in the afternoon.
Okay, so but people in her age bracket watch soap operas.
Yeah.
And NBC took Days of Our Lives, and it's now exclusively on Peacock.
Really?
Yes, I mean,
That had to upset some people, I'm sure.
well, yeah, wouldn't you think?
I would think. The funny thing was, okay, so back in the day when you and I were working at the Wig in, those early 2000s and
Back in the early parts of the century.
yes, and neither one of us was, if we had to go in the office and get the paper out in the morning, and then we had all afternoon off, and then you would work in the evening.
Yes.
So I found myself going home around lunchtime. I was a single guy then and flipping channels. I got sucked into The Young and the Restless at one point in time.
Okay, so I, for one time, watched, when did I watch? As the World Turns.
Okay. So, I got sucked into it. And then once you watch a few, then it's like you want to know what happens next. So for a while there, I watched it. It's been a long time. I was flipping channels this morning and happened to land on CBS, and Young and the Restless was on right around 11.
Watch?
Well, no, it caught my eye because it was the same actors.
Yeah, they're all still there.
They're all still there. It was like, and we're talking like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. I laughed for a minute, and then I went on to watch something else.
So there you go.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite show, whether it's streaming or mainstream TV? Do you have a couple shows that you dig into that aren't sports related?
Oh, are you kidding? Oh, you're asking me this,
Yes,
right?
I'm asking you this. What are your go-tos?
Okay, so every Friday night, my boss, Mr. Shuckman, has me working, so I have to DVR this now.
What's that?
It's called Life After Lockup. It's a follow-up to Love After Lockup. It's where prisoners find love, and they. It's gonna make you laugh for a while. It's Life After Lockup, and it's on the WE network, WE network, and it follows prisoners as they start dating while the prisoner's in prison. And usually, believe it or not, it's women, and the guys are on the outside, and the women who are the prisoners on the inside.
Really?
Yes, it's very. I actually sucked Stacy into it. She started watching it with me. I mean, I don't think she's fully committed yet.
Was that one of those you kind of stumbled across and got sucked in, or did you go, "Oh, I want to see what this is"?
Oh, I've watched it for like 3 seasons now.
Okay.
I one of the guys on the show, Deontay. He follows me on Twitter, and I follow him back. So I told him I told Stacy that's my friend. But anyway, it's trash TV. It's so
I'm
bad.
sure.
There's a couple on this year's show that's from Ellsbury.
Really?
Yes. So they went out on a date a couple weeks ago. And I have a friend, Chris Gray, who lives in
Yes.
Troy, and we went out a couple months ago to some place called the Grotto Grill down in it's about kind of down near Winston.
Yeah. I know what you're
And
talking about.
They went into the place. They ate in the same place that I did. I was like, that meme where you.
So they videoed it and
Oh, yeah.
was part of the show?
Yes, I mean I wasn't there that day, but I was like,
Right.
oh, I've been there.
Wow. So Life After Lockup.
Life After Lockup is a big one. What else have I been watching? I watched Hard Knocks. I liked Hard Knocks with the Lion. I'm a Lions fan now a little bit. I like Dan Campbell. I like that they won the other day. I'm rooting for them. I think they'll beat the Bears twice. By the way,
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Bears are terrible.
Yes.
What other things what about you? What do you got on your must-see watch list right now?
Well, on Paramount,
Yep.
SEAL Team.
Yes.
It's become one of my favorite shows. It's in season 6 now. We just had Sunday was the lid lifter for season 6. And then there's a couple CBS shows. I'm big. I love Blue Bloods. Stevie Dirt's a big Blue Bloods fan.
Another one that you're a Hulu guy.
Yeah.
You can binge watch it now because the entire season's over. But there was a reality show called Claim to Fame.
Okay.
That I tried to get people to watch because what it is it's like a Survivor or kind of like Survivor and those types of things.
Okay.
But each one has a celebrity that they're related to, and you have to figure out who the celebrity is.
Oh, okay.
So there's all kinds of clues.
That's interesting.
It's like 10 episodes. Just if you want mindless TV on a weekend, Claim to Fame on Hulu.
The other one that I found I really enjoy is I hope I get this. Who Do You Think You Are? and they take celebrities and they go through their ancestry, and they literally they fly from, if they're in LA, if they're an actress or an actor, and they'll fly to, say, Virginia, where their ancestors landed, and they'll fly overseas and go to these spots and learn about their ancestry, and it's just really cool. Some of them have family members that have been slave traders. Mm-hmm. Some of them were war heroes, and then you get the ones who have a bad past, whose ancestors were killed or were jailed, and one of them was part of the Salem witch hunts.
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
What's on Hulu?
I believe it's on Hulu. Yes.
All right, I might check that out.
So that one's I really enjoy that. Because I like the history aspect of it.
Yeah, but see, I'm not doing any of those 23andMe's. I told my wife I'm never doing one of those.
Oh, the ancestry thing?
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that. Nobody needs my DNA. Only I need my DNA. I'm not sharing that with anybody.
But see,
I don't think I've ever been fingerprinted either.
The other thing I enjoy is I'll check out the History Channel. So I'll and some of the documentaries that come with that. Yeah. There's some really cool things that they put on the History Channel.
Now, if you're looking for a free streaming app to get you through some boring times,
yes,
Pluto TV.
That's your go-to.
That's whenever I'm bored, I just go to Pluto TV. They got the Buzzer Network on there. I've been getting into Classic Concentration because when I get off of work every day, it's on for an hour.
Okay.
They got Classic Concentration. They've got with Alex Trebek as the host.
Oh, very nice.
So I watch the local news at 10 o'clock pretty much every night.
Yeah, same here.
At 10:30, I'll flip it over to Pluto and watch an hour's worth of All in the Family.
Okay.
I tell you what, if kids today, I want to get Derek, my 23-year-old, to sit down and watch one of those. Actually, I want to get Bob Goff's son, Alex, to sit down and watch All in the Family with me sometime, because those millennials, their heads would explode.
You're probably right.
They would explode.
They would explode.
That Archie does.
All right. Well, we haven't talked much sports since we've sat down here.
I got another question for you. I want to bring up a conversation that we had privately on the air here.
Okay, let's go.
Of course, 2 weeks ago, Mr. Shuckman, you had me go to watch Aeneas Williams.
Yes, I did.
And we raved about him on here.
Yes.
Last week, for the fourth straight week, I saw Quincy High School play.
Yep.
Fourth straight week, third straight week. What are they? 3-1. And I was saying to you afterwards, Braden Little, he's worth the price of admission. And I said, I think my question to you is it wrong to try to say that he's a generational type talent like Aeneas is?
I don't know if he's done enough yet.
They're two entirely different players.
No question.
I mean, they play the same sport, but they are two entirely different players.
What you have to remember is we're just a couple years removed from arguably the best football player in Quincy High history.
Jairell Brock.
Yes.
Totally different player than this
Totally different player than Braden Little. So is it hard to say, oh, here's another one a couple of years later that falls into that category? He's only a sophomore.
Yes.
Yes, he just had a huge game on Friday night.
But I tell you what, again, I've seen him now 4 weeks in a row. So yes. I've seen the progression.
And I've seen 2 of those 4 games.
Yes. And I tell you what, and again, it's in order for him to be good, he needs people to throw the ball to, which he has.
Yes.
More importantly, he needs an offensive line to let him at least – he doesn't keep the ball in his hand for very long, but you still need to block for a little bit, and he's got a good offensive line.
True.
And again, I'm not Chris Dewar who breaks down offensive linemen like from here to Sunday.
No, but this offensive line does a really good job of pass blocking. They're very good with getting their arms extended and keeping guys at bay. And their footwork's very good, and they're strong. A kid like Chris Flax, who's just a weight room beast. Mm-hmm. Brady Wells is another kid who's done really good with his footwork. So I think yes. So that offensive line is doing things at an extremely high level, and he's got receivers to go get the ball.
Correct. But it's one thing to have a howitzer for an arm, and he's got a really good arm. It's another thing entirely to be able to read the field and to make the right throw, and that's what he does now. At an age that you just don't know that you see that from kids.
No, and I think that's the most impressive thing for me is the way he reads the game, reads defenses, knows where to go with the ball, makes adjustments on the fly. He's not sitting in the pocket looking at the primary receiver and staring him down and then throwing it no matter what.
The ball and waiting for him to get open.
Yeah. No, he does a great job of going through his progressions, reading the defense, figuring out where to go with the ball. And he puts, not only does he have a really strong arm, but he's got a very accurate arm.
Yes.
Like he can put the ball in windows, which is impressive for a sophomore.
I mean, I'm telling you, I'm just saying that if you're looking to spend, $5 to $7 to get in a game on a Friday night,
Oh, he's worth the price of
you
admission.
got to go down to see Aeneas.
Yes.
And number 2, you got to go see this kid from Quincy High.
No
play
question.
quarterback. You've got to.
No question
Of
about
course,
it.
they're on the road this weekend.
Yeah, Quincy
so
is
you
at
can.
Galesburg.
Aeneas is finally home, so if you want to go see that game on Friday night, you can. But I just think that, and again, I don't know. Yeah, obviously, Aeneas is being looked at by every, the cream of the crop. I don't know what Braden's ceiling is for as far as recruitment goes. But
That's a great. Well, he's only a sophomore.
he's only sophomore, so he's got time to grow. And those people will come knocking. Could he be a MAC player? I don't know. Could he be Big Ten? I have no idea.
I don't think anyone knows right now.
Yes.
Like I think part of that is you look at the progression he made physically from freshman to sophomore. The muscle he put on, the weight he put on, he's starting to mature into his body.
Yep.
Is he going to get much taller? I think that's right now. I think is one of the big differences on where one of the conversation points, I guess, should say, on where he might end up, because big time schools are looking for a quarterback with some size, see over the line and that kind of stuff. If he doesn't get much taller than 6 foot, where does he go?
So he's got to pull the Bobby Brady then and go back outside in the back and like
Yeah.
hang off the swing set.
But that's one challenge. I mean, his dad's what, 6'2"? I think
Probably.
Rick's 6'2". So I mean, he's probably still growing some more. So I mean, again, that doesn't mean schools won't look at him. But if he was 6'4", everybody in the world would be all over him.
Correct. And again, right now you've just got to go. I mean, he throws a football like nobody I've ever seen in high school.
Yeah. Set the single game passing record for yardage.
Yes.
Set the single game record for passing touchdowns. Now I know there's some stuff has come up. Obviously Jyrell and Devin Smith both had 6 touchdowns in a game rushing.
Sure.
So that was a school record there. Somebody brought up Josh Valey from the late 90s, I think 97. And it was against Moline. He was a quarterback. He had 5 rushing touchdowns.
Yes.
Somebody just kept bringing up, well, Josh Valey had the record. No, those were rushing touchdowns for a quarterback. These are passing touchdowns. So, Eric Bush, people kept bringing him up. His best passing game was 289 yards his senior year against Moline.
Look at you with the statistics.
So
You're the Carl Landrum of Quincy sports. You know that?
that's quite a compliment.
It
Carl
is.
Landrum was.
He knew that he was a real deal Holyfield, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, and what a fantastic. Both him and his wife Shirley, fantastic people.
And we would not know a lot about our history had he not profiled.
No, and I mean, I have his books, and I've read them multiple times, cover to cover. I've had the opportunity to, back in the day, to talk with him and use him as a resource for some projects I did when I was back in school and taking part in history fairs and that kind of stuff. I love history.
Yes.
I got my minor in history from Old Mizzou.
You're a history buff.
So
where are you going Friday night?
I'm going to Macomb.
That's right.
So this past Friday night, I went to Brown County, hung out, did a shuck on a truck with the coaches' wives,
Yes.
and had a great time just being part of the community and seeing.
Look at you surround yourself with beautiful women, Chuck. You're no fool.
Exactly. I'm no fool. But, so it was fun. It was fun to be, talk to the community members and talk football and see two of our good communities that are rivals, yet a very healthy rivalry, come together and have a great night of football. Macomb's off to a great start. So we're going to go up there Friday night. I'm going to kind of do the same thing. Go up and just experience what a Friday night at
Who are they playing?
Farmington.
Farmers are coming to town.
And the Farmers are usually pretty good. So should be a good game. Macomb, it's homecoming for Macomb this week. And I believe it was homecoming last week. No, homecoming was last week. So, but the chance to qualify for the playoffs, so it would be 5, they'd be 5-0 if they'd get the win.
Nice.
So, and then I still want to do this a couple other places. I want to make sure to get to Monroe City, one team that's very, playing very well. So in the coming weeks, we're going to kind of do some of those things as well. So
Very nice.
giving
So
me a
you're
chance to
Macomb.
go out and kind of, see things from a different angle.
So you got Macomb. I'm going to Quincy Notre Dame on Friday night.
Stevie Dirt's going to go to Hannibal.
Stevie Dirt's and Hannibal. We got Maddie Wheaton covering Galesburg for us.
Yep. So the Blue Devils will be at
I'm
Galesburg.
looking forward to Notre Dame just for the simple fact that I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen in that game Friday night. Mater Dei's been all over the map.
Right.
Unfortunately, Notre Dame got robbed last week of a game.
Terrible.
I feel terribly for those boys.
Yep.
So
they're technically Notre Dame's 2-2.
2-2.
I mean, that's their record.
Yes.
Did not get to play last week because Hayti forfeited, and they couldn't find a replacement in the last minute.
Couldn't they have told them like on Monday or something? Couldn't they?
See, yeah.
I mean,
I don't like the way it went.
Thursday afternoon.
Unless they had like a rash of injuries in practice, which I don't think happened. I may be wrong there, but come on.
You know on Monday.
You know on Monday.
The following Friday night who's gonna be available.
Right.
And they could have called on Saturday and said, "Hey guys, you know what? It's not looking good for us. You might want to try to find somebody else." Now that's not to say that there are a couple teams in Illinois that needed games that they would have come down here or.
But what I don't and so here's the crux of this. If you're one of those other teams that had a team forfeit on them,
I'm taking my dub.
I'm not.
You're gonna go play.
Yes.
You
owe it to your kids to go play.
You load your kids. Okay.
Okay. Think about
I'm a
it.
weakling. I'm wimp.
Well, think about this.
Yes.
Okay. If Quincy High basketball, which your son will be a senior,
yes,
has teams forfeit on it,
yes,
wouldn't you rather, instead of taking the W, go find somebody else that doesn't have a game that night and play so that your senior son got as much chance to play as he did?
Yes.
Okay. It's the same thing for football.
Yes. Okay.
Those seniors they lost a chance to play at home.
Oh, and I hate that for the Notre Dame kids. Not Notre Dame's Notre Dame kids' fault.
And even if you have to, if you have to give up the home game,
you know how that was going to go down, though. You know that they were going to incentivize someone. They were going to pay for someone's bus or something to come down here.
Okay. So, but that's why I say, Notre Dame wanted to play. Notre Dame didn't want the forfeit.
100%.
So these other schools that took the forfeit, shame on you. Well, you should have given your kids a chance to play.
I will say this, though. You're getting called at like 7 o'clock on a Thursday night.
If you weren't prepared,
yes,
I understand that. If you had been practicing all week and could have been prepared, and you turned it down.
And that goes back to Hayti telling Notre Dame way earlier in the week that, hey,
but if you turned it down going, we want to make sure we get the victory so we get to 5 wins and get in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's weak.
That's weak. That's what I mean by that.
Yes. So
give the kids an opportunity to play. Yes. And it exposes a problem with the IHSA system. The playoff system.
Weren't we going to have everybody scheduled at one point?
Yes, and that fell through, and I just don't like the fact that teams will give up the opportunity to play a game to guarantee themselves that win so they get to the playoff. They get a playoff number. Mm-hmm. There's got to be a better system out there. I don't know what it is exactly. I'm not sure the Missouri system works. It works better than the Illinois system because everybody's in the districts. Now you get some really bad games. Those first
the 8-1 games are terrible.
Yeah, so there may be a different way of doing the Missouri system, but at least you're in there. Right now, and you can sit there and say, well, every week counts in Illinois, and it does. But you're robbing kids of an opportunity to play, or, in the case of, you've killed some rivalries. You've done that thing because teams have left conferences to get their 9 games.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a way to make the system better. I wish I knew what it was. I wish I could come up with the magic proposal that everybody would agree with and makes it look great and works for everyone. I don't know what the proposal is, to be honest.
We'll figure it out.
But something needs to change.
Agree 100%.
So you'll be at the Advanced Physical Therapy Field on Friday night.
Right, yes, watching the Knights and the Raiders.
That's the only thing I got you doing this week.
Nothing. Saturday I'll be if anybody wants to come see me on Saturday, come down to the old historic Dick Brothers Brewery area. I'm going to be slinging beers for the Oktoberfest for Rotary.
Oh, okay.
From 5:30 to 10. I'm not going to give you anything free, but maybe I'll fill it all the way to the rim for you.
That would be nice of you.
You can have bratwurst and all kinds of schnitzel and all kinds of other stuff going on.
You can, before you go out there, you could come out to QU Stadium on Saturday and see one of the top 10 teams in the nation in Division II football.
QU is top 10 now?
No, that would be Ashland, the homecoming opponent this week. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, come on, Raby. You can't schedule homecoming on the weekend that the boys are coming down to whoop you.
So, yeah, it's going to be a tough challenge for the Hawks.
The Eagles. Will
The
Stevie
Eagles.
Dirt be there flying his Eagles colors?
He might be. I think he's still coming down from his Raceways high. Or his Speedway High, I guess. I keep wanting to call it Raceways. I know it's the Adams County Speedway now.
I called them the San Diego Chargers earlier, so it's not anything big.
But yeah, he spent all weekend at the dirt track at the Bull Ring, and I think he was loving it. Two full nights back to back of racing.
If it ain't rubbing, it ain't racing.
He was in heaven. He might still be sleeping. And
the great thing about Muddy River Sports is that I don't remember seeing any coverage of that anywhere else.
Nope.
It's great that Steve goes out there and provides that coverage because we saw it at the Herald Whig for many, many years. That draws eyeballs. People love racing.
And people love him out there.
Yes.
He's
the king.
He's Stevie Dirt.
Yes.
So, well, enjoy your weekend at Advanced Physical Therapy Field and slinging beers on Saturday night.
Yeah, come see me. If you say you heard this on... If you say you heard me on Muddy River, the Muddy River Breakdown, and you see me at the Rotary, I'll buy you one beer.
Wow. Okay, so if you're listening, show up to Oktoberfest. Go to the Rotary booth.
I think I'm in the Budweiser tent between 5:30 and 10.
Okay.
And I'll get you a beer.
If you say you listen to it
yes.
So you have to have listened to the Muddy River Breakdown.
Yes. You have to listen to Muddy River Breakdown. Come see me between 5:30 and 10. Say, hey, DOB, you owe me a beer.
Very nice.
Because I heard you on Muddy River Breakdown.
I like that.
I'll let you know next week how many people actually took him up on that.
Good. And next week we'll have the big announcement.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
My EPL team.
So we're going to have Tyler, the dreamy one.
Yeah, we're going to make sure. We're going to get him in here. Or if we have to tape a segment with him and edit it in, we'll do that. But yes, he will be part of the big announcement.
I'm looking forward to it. This is a good week because this is the off week for the EPL. So you've got next week to have the big announcement. And then I expect
I can have my research done for my team and be fully prepared to talk about my team.
Spurs Arsenal, by the way, is the 6 a.m. game on Saturday, October 1st. So you don't have to worry about getting up early for that.
Thank goodness.
I'll be up for it. I got up the last time we played a 6 a.m. game.
Why?
Hey,
because you're a diehard now.
I'm a diehard now. I'm all in.
You're all about the Spurs.
We're near the top of the table right now. We took it on the chin in the Champions League last week, but we'll bounce back. Back next time.
We'll look forward to this.
Yes.
We'll break it down.
All right.
We'll break it down again next week for the Muddy River Breakdown. I'm Matt Shuckman. That's Don O'Brien. Join us again next week.
Muddy River Sports. Our home, our sports.